I'm the only one in this house who actually likes hummus, so I thought today I would just test it out making a really small batch, and I wanted to see if I could keep it really simple and just get it all done in the jar once I've cooked the chickpeas. And if you've watched my video on how to make hummus from dried chickpeas in around an hour, you'll know that normally I blend with my food processor, so my Magimix, but recently I've replaced my 15-year-old stick blender with a super powerful Bamix or Bamix. So this is the blender that has some attachments on the bottom, and I'm going to be using the main chopping blade and seeing how I get on with making the hummus in the jar itself. So let's get on with it and see what happens. So I've soaked overnight half a cup of dried chickpeas. So you can do chickpeas from scratch to make hummus in the Instant Pot, of course, but if you do remember to soak them, you're saving a little bit of electricity, and who doesn't want to save a bit of energy and save the planet? We've got some olive oil, we've got some tahini, we've got a little cumin, clove of garlic, going to be juicing half a lemon, and then I'm going to be putting in a lovely bunch of flat parsley from the garden and make it a nice greeny hummus. So my first step though is to get the chickpeas cooked before we get blending. So I'm going to cook these in the Instant Pot. So you can use any Instant Pot for this, or of course you can cook your chickpeas on the stove top, but it's much quicker with a pressure cooker. I'll just add in my chickpeas. So I'm using the Instant Pot Duo Crisp, which is an 8-litre Instant Pot, and the minimum amount of liquid for that is 2 cups. So if you're using a 6-litre or smaller Instant Pot, you could probably get away with 1 cup of water because we've pre-soaked these chickpeas. And then I'm just going to drizzle in just a little bit of oil, and that just helps when we're cooking pulses in the pressure cooker and prevents any foaming. So the pressure cooker lid is on, and I'm going to cook these for 15 minutes on pressure cooker high. So that's our chickpeas cooking in the Instant Pot. So while those are cooking, let's get everything into our jar. Just chop the garlic a little bit and get that into the jar. Put the tahini in. That tahini has gone quite solid and dried out, so that'll give the Bamix a bit of a difficult job. We'll put in the olive oil, and we will just give the parsley just a quick chop. Put in some of the stalks as well. I'm really going to give this processor a bit of a job, and then we will put in the cumin, and then finally we'll put in the lemon. So we're now just waiting for the chickpeas, and then we'll see what the Bamix is going to do. I'm nervous. Okay, so there's the chickpeas ready. We'll drain those. So there's a chickpea, and they are super soft now. 15 minutes high pressure in the Instant Pot will do a lovely job. Okay, so I'm going to put on my trusty funnel to get the chickpeas in there. Perfect. It's just under the line that you get there. And if you've not seen a Bamix before, one of the things that's quite different about it is that they have these removable blades. So the blades come off, and there are a number of them, and that just snaps into place, and that means it gives you a lot more flexibility than a normal immersion blender. Okay, we're going to do it. I think I'll try it on low first. It's got 2 speeds. Okay. Oh, high speed is better. So now I've given that an initial chop, I can add the water. So we have got a really nice textured hummus there. It's nice and smooth, it's dealt with the parsley, it's dealt with the hard tahini. I'd say it was a little bit of a faff in this small jar. I might use a slightly bigger or wider jar if I was doing it again. So here's the finished hummus, and the Bamix did do a really good job. The consistency is brilliant. But here's 3 pieces of advice based on my first experiment with this. Number 1, make sure you're using a pretty powerful stick blender. I don't think for a minute my old blender would have done that, but this has got a really brilliant motor and it can really cut through everything to get that fantastic texture. Number 2, it's brilliant doing it in the jar and just putting the lid on and getting it into the fridge, but there wasn't really much room to work with. So the next time I do this, I think I will do it in a slightly bigger jar or in a large plastic container or the thing that the blender comes with. It will just give a little bit more room to work with. And then the third one is make sure you've got the hang of your blender buttons before you press them on. So with the Bamix, what you're doing is moving it up and down in the container, and don't do what I did and lose attention on it and bring it up too high, because you know what happened, it spun around the kitchen.
Oh no!
It wasn't too bad, but it did give the Instant Pot a bit of a soak in. So my third tip is pay full attention when you're making your hummus with a hand blender. If you like this video but you'd like to do a bigger batch, take a look at my making hummus from scratch in the Instant Pot from dried chickpeas in around an hour, and I'll see you over there.